Remember when the term pro style meant something? Well, Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly remembers. He remembers so fondly that he brought back his QB from the end of the pro style era to be his offensive coordinator this past offseason. For those who are unaware, the pro style offense back in the day referred to offenses that weren't afraid to widely vary their formations and personnel. They would go shotgun sometimes, but weren't afraid to take snaps under center. They employed tight ends, sometimes two at the same time, and would occasionally bring in one of these guys. For those of you who have started watching football sometime in the last decade, this guy is called a fullback. His only job in the world is to hit somebody as hard as he can. Let's start by taking a look here. You just don't see fullbacks in the game anymore. The spread offense has kind of killed them off, but when you do see them, you know you're watching a team that wants to run the football. This is a cool play. It originates from the old school wing T offense. It's called down, and this play side guard pulls around on a kickout block while this fullback barrels through to open up a lane for this running back. Fullbacks aren't the only way to play hard-nosed football. Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees knows that many teams' personnel are getting smaller and quicker, so there may not be a better time to pull out a formation like this one that features 3 tight ends. This extra power at the point of attack pushes this entire line 5 yards back and makes life easy on these running backs. Once the defense gets drawn up to stop the run, it opens up massive windows in the play action game. On this play, the run fake draws in this nickel corner, and it makes it impossible for him to recover to this out route behind him. These tight ends can be dangerous as route runners as well. Look for names like Tommy Trimble and Brock Wright to present matchup nightmares for Florida State's secondary. This type of offense, with its devotion to running the ball and play actions, tends to open up things for the quarterback. Senior quarterback Ian Book makes a living off these little dump passes, and he's pretty good at patiently chucking the ball downfield. He's also surprisingly agile. It's easy to think of a pro-style quarterback being a statue in the pocket, but if the defense is sleeping, he will take advantage. The only thing I really question about Book's ability is he seems to have some accuracy problems. This might account for his tendency to take the safer throw and fit into more of a game manager type role. But before we leave the offense, I want to talk about one of their most used formations and the cool things they can do out of it. They like to line up in this little bunch set. This condenses the defense's formation and makes these blocking angles easier for these bunched receivers. If the defense starts cheating inside to take away the run, they will challenge you to a foot race to the outside with toss sweeps and passes to the flats. When your linebackers and safeties inevitably start shading towards the bunch, they can run split zone. The word split basically means that this tight end pulls across the formation while the other linemen wash down the defensive line. This play is designed for this cutback lane, and it looks like it will hit big. Unfortunately, the tight end here dodges this block and the play gets blown up. But they can also get really creative out of the formation. This is a pretty standard outside zone play here, but you can see that they're setting up this end around if they see that linebackers are flowing play side. In their next game versus USF, you can see them go to that misdirection sweep. However, the backside defenders do a good job of staying disciplined and contain this play for minimal yardage. But again, if they catch the safeties cheating towards the end around, they can hit them with this little slip screen back the other way. I honestly could talk about their offense all day. It's pretty unique in modern football. I mean, I didn't even mention their amazing offensive line that makes all of this trickery possible, or their talented stable of running backs that can take utmost advantage of any hole their line gives them. However, I think it's time to move on to the defense. The defense that they most often run is called man free or cover one. This basically just means that Notre Dame plays man across the board with one free safety to help with anything over the top. So why this defense? Well, firstly, it allows for them to take full advantage of talented secondary players like Kyle Hamilton. By rolling one of your 2 safeties into the box, it gives you an extra person to help with run fits. But those safeties also have to be able to hold their own when isolated in man coverage. The second reason to run man free is that it can protect your linebackers. Modern spread offenses try to mess with the linebackers to get numbers at the point of attack. To combat this, defensive coordinator Chuck Lee doesn't ask much of his linebackers in coverage. They tend to patrol this shallow hook area, an area often occupied by people playing robber, and they also take running backs out of the backfield. This linebacker technique might be a reaction to their relatively poor rush defense last year, but this year they're seeing more success against the run. Since these linebackers don't have to worry as much about coverage, they are more free to be aggressive in the run game, with the added bonus that they are readily available when a quarterback wants to take off out of the backfield. However, this defense does place a lot of responsibility on the secondary. They are often put on islands, but thus far this year, they've shown that they are up for the challenge. However, it will be interesting to see how they fare against tougher competition. As of now, their defense has looked pretty stout this season. In order to beat them, it might help to find crafty ways to isolate their linebackers in man coverage. This motion inside confuses the man responsibilities of these linebackers, and he gets lost in the shuffle as he releases to the flats. Pick plays are another good way to combat their tendency to play man. This play comes straight from the Warriors' 2015 NBA championship run. This receiver sets one of the most obvious illegal screens in the middle of the field to give this in-route space to get open. Since their linebackers are so focused on filling interior gaps, there might also be room to stretch them horizontally in the running game. If FSU wants success, this might be the way to do it. Their newfound offensive identity shows promise, and if they find enough success, they could force Notre Dame's hand away from man and into more zone looks. But ultimately, this game doesn't look good for the Noles. Notre Dame is a complete team with solid pieces around the board. FSU looks like it's starting to build some momentum with some of its younger pieces, but ultimately, I don't think this is the year that they're able to compete at the big boys table. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's definitely not one of the more optimistic takes I'll take on the season. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and check out other things that we have at Tomahawk Nation. Thanks.